The idea for this talk came through like kitchen table discussions we had. We happen to have the same kitchen, so we talk a lot. Previously, we've been working together in on multiple teams, like 2 or 3 teams, and knowledge acquisitions in those teams were a thing like each time. So Jaga at some point of time read an article about knowledge acquisition, and then we cycled through those discussions, going over and over with another article, then then a book, and that's how we ended up being here. Yeah. So one important thing to note is that most of those items, they explained us they explained us how the teams work in terms of knowledge acquisition based on real case examples.
Yes, and we want to share with you our findings. Okay, I hate the stage. Okay, so what is important? This is diagram which we use to describe how knowledge from person B, this is above this line, pass to the person A, which is above this line. Below this line. Okay, and what is very important, what we mean under term integrating knowledge. Knowledge is integrated when some new piece of information we receive it and we consider it and build into our previous knowledge. Okay, so this is connected with what we know before about it. Okay, so this is not only isolated piece of information, but something which is coherent with the rest of our knowledge. And we use this diagram for the whole presentation. So
yeah. Yeah, make a photo.
Okay, and we start from the person B. And what is important, the researchers find that the most important thing is how fast people can learn. So one of the main factor which can improve learning effectiveness in the team is how fast people learn. So think about learning people how to learn. Okay, and my idea is doing it by mentoring and by pair programming. This is only 2 things which works really. Mm-hmm. Okay, because the rest is about some only in the moment when people observe another people how they solve problem, they learn how to do it. And the second thing is about use pull, not push when you think about learning. So organize system, organize how people work, then they have to seeking for information and then learn, not push information to them when you have it. Okay, change the order.
Yeah, so the model in general concludes with 2 types of learning. The learning from self is, like you said, by pull. This means, okay, I have some context and the reason to find the information, and I look for it with that context in mind. I look for the information, aggregate the information, and then integrate it into my previous knowledge. And learning from others, this is mostly in situations when we have specialized roles in the teams, like for example front-end developers, Android and iOS and back-end developers, when it's not necessarily like from economical point of view easy, or there's basically no way of having all the knowledge because of the specialization. Okay, and in general, because of the noise, because of the differences in the specialization, learning from self is considered faster in terms of like integrating the knowledge, spreading the knowledge in a team. So from my perspective as a developer, learning from self is like, okay, I have an idea of a business case. Then I go to the code, look into the system, into the documentation, try to find myself how things are working, and learning from others is like asking my colleague, what's your opinion on that? How do you think it works? Right? So those are two types we have in this presentation.
Okay, and this is a real case from one of our teams. At the beginning, we tried to solve different problem. Our problem was that our business and our product owner was in the different location. So we tried to prepare some information for the team before we started to work together. But then we discovered that it works really better, and now after this article we understand why.
Mm-hmm. So from my perspective as a developer, let's say it's Monday, okay? Monday morning, the first thing I do, I check the items, what would I do in the next iteration, okay? From like in general perspective. The important thing is, I know it will be there on Monday morning, so I can check it, read it, and then take some time to like not even look for the information that would help me to solve the problem, but to understand what questions do I need to ask, what I don't know. So I'll be prepared for the next meeting when we'll be together to ask the right questions. And that happens later on. There are some gray rectangles here.
Somewhere.
So later on, we generally try to overlap those times when we learn from self and learn from others. Why? Because so on Monday we confirm the business goal, and then we have some time like to generally draw the architecture, try to look for some strategies for testability, and then in a team, in some subgroup of a team, I quickly confirm that those ideas are correct. I confirm that I understood what's to be done correctly, and we throughout the week try to spread the knowledge across the team. And this happens over and over again, and at the end what we have here, that we have, for example, multiple ways of addressing the issue. Then we can wisely decide which one is the best for us. And what we also have is we are not like connected to a certain person for doing that. Everyone from the team could drive the topic the next week or whenever we decide. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we start from learning from self. But if you think about learning from self, we need some information from other people. So they should have time for prepare this information, and should be supported by our company. And they also should know how to prepare information which is valuable for others. Okay, so what information is the most important, and how to, I don't know, how to organize this information to be easy to read for it. And also the very important thing is how to using learning from self build into the process confirmation of reading. So I, as someone who prepare information, I can check if someone read it and understand it. This is very difficult. Okay, so we have some idea how to improve it.
Mm-hmm. And from a perspective of developer, as you said, we need to have time to prepare the information, maybe create some documentation, like create some more test cases, and try to build that into the process. So as part of your outcome of the sprint of the iteration, try to make a workshop with a team. This wouldn't be asynchronous, that you will closely work together at the end, preparing the information to be used for the others or for the team the next time you'll be addressing similar issue. So what's important here? Quick feedback from our team. If they understand the information, if that the information is correct, and gratification for you. Because let's say writing documentation needs some effort, especially if it should be good, then instantly you will see that this changed someone's like way of working, and it helps people from other teams. You get the feedback, you get the gratification. Okay. Mostly when I work as a software developer, I read the code. Okay, writing the code is important, but I'm reading the code, and whenever I'm reading the code, I ask myself, why this change is here? Okay, so the reason for a change is equally or even more important than the change itself, because the change is documented by the change set. Okay, and for example, you can use the decision records. This is a standardized way of like describing what was the decision, what was the reason, what were different options considered, and why did you choose the one. Because in the future you probably won't know because of the rotation, of just memory. Okay, simpler than that, use commit messages that describe the reason for a change. Okay, you can have a workshop in your team. If they ask why would I do that, have a look at some past changes, try to like guess what was the reason for a change, then go through the change, go through the task, and try to compare what was the initial guess than the real reason, and then consider how quicker it would be if it would be there in a commit message. Okay. Another type of information that somehow makes noise is the information that's passed in a hurry. For example, a release process. If, let's say, 10 people would try to ask someone what's the status, when the tests would be started, is it delayed, then there's no time to work. Okay, try to define the information that might be required for people, and try to subscribe to the information. For example, on Wiki, you can create a feed. Okay, information of, if you have a process, probably the information related to that process will be similar each time. So try to organize it as a feed. For the information that requires to be addressed somehow quickly, like Jaga said, try to introduce some mechanism that someone that needs that information, you make sure that someone read the information and understood the information, so you can offload yourself from the fact that you have to like monitor the situation. And this can be like emoticons, reactions, things like that. If you have a chance for automation, this is always need to be considered. For example, if you have UI tests, in most systems we have some UI tests, try to create a documentation out of that. Okay, for example, if a UI test goes through some UI process, do snapshots, do movie. This would be like closely to the code, always up to date documentation of your process, of your application. Yes. Those are some ideas how to make it happen easily.
Okay, and when we think about sharing knowledge directly from person to person, we have to consider how do it effectively. And for me was very interesting that for many years explanation why people do not share all information which they have was that people do it because they wanted to have some power, because information is a power, or they wanted to be irreplaceable, so they don't want to say everything what they know. But during some research, they use agents and manipulating some
parameters
receive the same effect. And their explanation was that people do not share the whole knowledge because the sharing process is not effective enough. So they started to be frustrated and they stopped sharing. And they use these findings to prepare some guides for people and check if they works in real teams. And it was confirmed. So yes, this is the case. So not because people do not want to share information, but they don't know how to do it effectively. And first thing is the opportunity to pass information, and this is called who speaks problem. So probably we do not have a good mechanism for which allows anyone to speak if they have some information. Okay. It's not not every member of the team has equal likelihood to share information. Okay, this is about it. The second thing is provide only verified information, and it was a main factor. So people should use information which they check there is real truth and valuable for others. And the third thing is preparing information using your specialization. So probably you should prepare some more information, simplify it, and make it valuable for others.
So for those guides, for example, if you consider a daily meeting, first try to address general information. What do I mean? Try to give people some context. For example, I have an information that there will be a decision-making meeting like 2 hours before that than we thought, and how does it influence the others' work? So try to build in this this concept that people understand that the information is for them, for example. Yes. Another idea, we often have, at least if I'm thinking about refinements, it sometimes happens that people are just tending to go somewhere on the side, start to develop. Try to embrace this idea of raising hands. For example, if someone thinks that the information someone's providing it's not that interesting for that person, gently raise a hand. Okay, yes. If that's just one person, that's okay. If there's more people, probably not everyone should be here. Try to go and create a group meeting.
Yes, and in this case, people very fast learn which information is valuable for others. It's really very fast process and also very smooth because we do not interrupt. Mm-hmm. But we receive information. This is not interesting for me. This is not about that what you say is not interesting, but this is not interesting for me in this moment. Okay, so it's maybe you think this is something small, but it really changed our team and how we pass information. Okay, and shared mental models. Okay, I love shared mental models. Okay, this is my favorite things. Okay, shared models, it's when we share some understanding how something works, especially what we expect happened in the future. For example, if I have the same mental models about doing laundry with Paweł, okay, so which program we should use, which detergent, okay, etc., which fabric use which temperature, then I can pass only information. Our son's jacket is dirty, and I know that he wash it correctly, okay? And this is very, very important. So when we have good shared mental models, I can pass only small information, and this information will be understandable in the same way. And we know what we can expect.
But for that to work, you have to understand how the other person is working, what's important for that person task to be completed, and how you can complement each other, right? So from software development perspective, I often see people saying, okay, the build is red, the build has failed. But people from different places, like testers, developers, have different expectations. Like if, for example, you have a shared mental model of failed build, it means, okay, the build is failed, I'm leaving all the things I'm doing and I'm fixing it, it means that the tester won't wait, right? If you have this common understanding, that helps to like go forward with the work. Yeah. With mental models, there are different like types of activities that help to first make it shared, then work on it to be improved because of different changes, like environment changes, tools, people. And what you can do is to use techniques from different industries, right? So for example, special forces use quite often briefing and debriefings. It's also in aviation. What does it mean? Just before the task to be done, try to go through that and try to like have common understanding about the environment, what would happen in the next steps, try to discuss with people or note to people what would happen at certain times. And what's important, on a debriefing, you can align what happened and what was missing to update the model. This is especially important, for example, in the releases. Yeah. So, who notifies whom? What happens if an error is detected? Who's deciding about a rollback? Somehow similar, but still different, are pre- and post-mortem techniques. This is from medicine. With pre-mortem, you focus on what can happen wrong. This changes the mindset from like tunnel vision of success to see like some slips that might happen. Okay, for example, okay, tomorrow is a release, everything is ready. What might happen wrong? For example, like certificates, things like that. Different incidents. If you analyze incidents, you go like through steps, analyzing what happened and what could you do to address that.
Oh, okay. Pre-mortem is from medicine, okay? We prepare for surgery and we think, okay, patient died. Why? Okay, this is this type of thinking. So we started from the worst scenario.
And also quite useful simulations. In IT, it's not commonly used, but for example, analyzing production errors. Okay, try just to sit down and go through the procedures. If you have those mental models, try to go through them, verify if they are applicable. For example, log analyzing. Do I have access? Do I have a phone number to my colleague? Do I know how to call an incident manager? Just do it, but in a place, in the environment that's safe, so you can verify if the model that you have, you can really execute it.
Okay, and what is important, that is fact that team cognition is not about that everyone in team knows the same. Team cognition is about some awareness what we know. So, okay, so it's more than knowing the same. It's ability to use this knowledge to coordinate, cooperate, and to pass knowledge. Okay, so team cognition is a level up and describes the situation when we as a team can use some knowledge to work. Okay? And what is very important, prepare people to learn, especially when you want to pass some information to this person. So explain why this information is important to these people, okay? Why you should listen to it. What is the reason? And then provide this information. Very often we provide some information, okay, this library will be deprecated, okay? That's all. People don't know nothing. What is the problem?
Make sure that people understand the information. What can you do? The receiver probably should write down the information. If I have in mind some refinements, ask team members to write down the information. If you're writing down something that you do not understand, you will probably see it. Get feedback. Okay, if you are introducing like some new procedures, some tools, you can do dry runs. Make sure before it's like production live that people go through and confirm that they understand how to use the tool. It sounds simple, but sometimes it happens that people just say, okay, it seems to be easy, I understand how to use it, but there's no confirmation actually in practice.
Okay, and transactive memory. Transactive memory is terms which describes a situation when we know who knows. Okay, and using transaction memory system is about I have access to your understanding, to your knowledge. So it's about that we. It's not. Sometimes, okay, we are specialized, and sometimes it's not profitable to share the whole knowledge. And I think this is all the time happened. And in this case, we can use transactive memory as a system, but people can understand how it works. So it works that if I have some question about, I don't know, release, and you are a specialist, I can ask you, and you have time to explain me it. Okay? So how fast transactive memory works depends on if people have some time for provide me information, right information in the right time. Okay?
The organization-wise, it's like equally important to give that time to people and understanding that this is the way we share information, because you don't want the situations like, okay, I want to ask about card authorizations, and someone response is, okay, contact product owner, we'll do it next sprint, right? So just make it a process, make it obvious to people that this is the way that we share information, that it's not required for everyone all the time, and make space for that. Use guilds, use component mentors. As I said, like local information about some components, it's not always required for all the teams. Designated people like component mentors could at least guide to other specialists and make it obvious that people can find where that person is and how to contact them. Okay? Okay, summarizing. Teach people.
Yes, this is very important, because in the moment when people understand how it works, they started to find their ways to do it, to arrange it in their environment. So explaining what is team cognition, how mental models work, how transactive memory systems work, what is learning from self, what is learning from others, very often help people to do it better.
Mm-hmm. They understand which one to use when.
Yes.
And keep in mind that like putting effort into clear communication, clear information sources, it's a big effort, and do some like gratification processes, like giving feedback quickly to people that they change someone else's lives. This makes a big difference.
Yes.
Okay. You can use simulation, briefing process, post-mortem and pre-mortem analysis to make sure that your model stays up to date with the changing environment, and give people right information, right time. This is important, so you avoid the noise of the information.
Yes.
At the end, there's a bibliography that we've used.
It's really interesting. This is about this agent simulation. It's a really good article, really good. And my book, which I love, Teams That Work. It's a really good book. It's the best book about teams which I know. Yeah. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.